We brought my dad to Crestview in 2001 when he was starting to have a lot of insecurity and realized that he just couldn't take care of himself anymore.
My wife of almost 52 years was diagnosed with a rare blood disease called amyloidosis.
My mother-in-law lived on a fixed income, and she could not afford some of the other places that are available in town.
My dad worked till he was 86.
My 93-year-old grandmother moved in there and was there for 5 years till she passed away, and my great aunt moved in there.
It became obvious that she needed 24-hour care away from the hospital.
I'm still working, so I needed to have him somewhere where I knew that he would be checked on, but that he would still have some independence.
He loved having the bird feeder outside his window, and so he could watch the birds. He loved walking down to the pond with me, and we'd feed the fish and the ducks, and that became something special to us.
Each of us at some time in our life has experienced Alzheimer's in our family, and it's a very awful disease.
She was taken care of there in a room at Crestview, and it just was a great experience, even though it was a sad experience.
But I didn't think twice, and that's where we went. And it was a God thing, because they had an opening when we needed to get him in. And that doesn't happen very often over there.
I've always gravitated towards organizations that are faith-based. My personal experience is that they're usually very well run, but more importantly, they have a caring, compassionate mission.
So many people are believers, and they want to be in an environment that is conducive to encouraging their faith and their belief and their activity in church activities or social activities as well.
We have a chaplain there now who looks after his sheep. We have a chaplain there who ministers to people when they are sick. When they're in the hospital, he goes to visit them in the hospital. And so they're connected to Crestview even when they're not there in that way. This last year, he lost his wife suddenly, and the people of Crestview ministered to him. And that's the kind of community that I think people want to be a part of, particularly later in life.
They don't push it on people, but they make it available to them.
I think that Crestview sees what they're doing as ministry and outreach, and taking care of those who may not be able to take care of themselves.
They had sunrise services on Easter. They have Christmas Eve services. They have church 2 or 3 times a week.
It's selfless service. It's servant leadership. It is reaching out to be the hands and feet of Christ, to take care of the Christ in all of us, particularly at stages in life when we may not be able to take care of ourselves.
While my mother or my mother-in-law or my wife was there, a group of young people came and sang for everyone there. And I just thought that was one of the highlights of visiting there, was the kind of people that came in to cheer up the residents who were there.
I think it's the longevity of employees speaks to an atmosphere where they can grow professionally, where they can grow in their ministry of taking care of each other.
I mean, it's a very, very friendly place.
They have a very caring, compassionate, competent staff.
I can tell you that Crestview seems to provide a level of care that's maybe unmatched in other parts of the community.
Honestly, that employees stay where they're appreciated. They stay where the treatment they receive is comparable or better than the customers they serve.
The facility right now is sort of old, but it's the staff that really makes the operation home-like and caring and compassionate.
And I remember at Christmas time they were singing Christmas carols and other things of that nature, and it just made everybody feel good.
But it's very, very much of an Aggie place. They have a big screen TV, and weekends when the Aggies are playing basketball, that place is packed.
Part of our mission at Crestview is to care for the individual, to respect their dignity, to realize that they're a child of God, and that once they move in there, we'll take care of you as long as you live.
My mother was diagnosed with dementia about 10 years ago, and there were no places that we could find that we thought would fit.
We felt like we'd reached a point where we had a good plan, a good vision.
There's much more emphasis now on dementia and the treatment of Alzheimer's disease.
We traveled to Wisconsin to see particularly concept of what a retirement community should look like. And it was so vastly different than what we have at Crestview.
One of the neat things about the Memory Support Center is you can do different things with the actual building on the inside to make it feel much more like a home, so that the rooms look like apartments instead of looking like what you might have seen as an old nursing home room.
There's going to be a growth of our senior population, and there's going to be a need for these types of facilities. I see this as a growth business, to be perfectly honest with you.
And whether you call it dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever, they cannot live in an environment that is not secure. People get the greatest return on their gift or their investment, as this would be, when they invest it in people.
It's all about the mission first. So we often staff with higher levels. We spend more money in order to make sure that the resident has absolutely everything we can possibly give them.
Crestview is a member of Methodist Retirement Communities, and Methodist Retirement Communities is an affiliate of the Texas Conference of the Methodist Church.
Methodist Retirement Communities is the parent, if you will. It's the sole member of a number of communities.
At this point in time, we get no funding from the Texas Methodist Conference.
Methodist Retirement Communities itself, as the sole member, is really just a management arm. It doesn't have a whole pile of money.
I think local giving represents this being a community-led project, not that belongs to one or two families, but that Crestview really represents the greater good of the community, and we all have a vested interest.
We find ourselves in situations where local people really sort of know what's best and know how to get the job done.
It takes a good deal of money to run one of those facilities, and it takes an even greater amount of money to run those facilities right.
So it's really necessary and very helpful to us to get donations. It's really critical to our ability to move forward, to get some donations to help towards a project of such a sizable nature and big undertaking like this.
So I think we need to surround ourselves with a multitude of individuals who believe in Crestview and want to be an active volunteer in helping support the program. I hope that anyone who views this video will realize that giving to Crestview will be a blessing for them.
I would just ask that you think seriously about helping us do this monumental project for Crestview.
I want to invite friends and neighbors across the Brazos Valley.
Might not just be money, giving a gift of time, of volunteering, or whatever resources or talents you could bring to making this a successful project.
It's not about the size of the gift. It's about commitment, and it's about equal sacrifices.
It's all about taking care of people when they literally have no other way.
For the future of Bryan and College Station.
I hope you'll join with us in supporting the new Memory Center at Crestview.
I think it will make a huge difference in the lives of our older folks, and in truth, we're all going to be older folks someday.
I I guess the one word that I would use to sum up this project is blessings.
The biggest word probably is excitement.
Opportunity.
Respect.
I just think it's monumental.
Caring. It's about caring for people.
It's a monumental project. It's important. It's challenging.
Serving people who cared for us.
Everybody is just not believing that we're finally going to do it. And so there's so many people that have been waiting for this to happen.